organic chemistry. طبعا number one you have to know that in organic compounds is different organic chemistry. طبعا organic compound we call it carbon compounds because they are mainly compounds consist of carbon except carbon oxides and carbonates. These are not organic compounds. تمام؟ طيب mainly at the beginning we need to identify some definitions in the organic chemistry in general. Some definitions in the organic chemistry in general. Number one, we need to identify the meaning of organic chemistry, and we said that the organic chemistry is the chemistry of carbon compounds, or it is the compounds as the branch of chemistry that study carbon compounds. تمام? This is number one. Number two, and we have to know that in chemistry we have two types of formulas. Two types of formulas. We have something called structural formula, and we have something called displayed formula, and we have something called molecular formula, Type. The most famous one or the most common one that we all know it is the molecular formula. The molecular formula is the formula that consists of the total number of carbon atoms, for example, and the total number of hydrogen atoms. So we have, for example, C2H6. So C2H6D, as we write the total number of carbon atom and the total number of hydrogen atom, this is called a molecular formula. C3H8 molecular formula. C5H10 molecular formula. Okay, so the molecular formula is the formula that consists of the whole carbon atoms and the whole hydrogen atom. Right. This structure formula, this molecular formula, we can write it more details in a form called a structural formula. Okay, the structural formula is a description in the way that the molecules, how the molecules are arranged. بمعنى إن we have here C2H6. The C2H6 دي we write it CH3CH3. So this is called the structure form. طبعا we will explain in details how do we write it, but just I need you to differentiate between the structure formula and the molecular formula. When we write CH3, CH2, CH3, sorry, this is a structure formula. When we have alkene and we write CH2 double bond CH2, this is a structure formula. The structure formula contains the total number of hydrogen bonds to a specific number of carbon atoms, or the total number of, if we have oxygen, for example, we write the total number of oxygen bonded to specific number of carbon atoms. Okay, so this is the structure formula. I need you to notice the difference between them. The displayed formula is a formula that show all the bonds. طبعا we know that carbon atoms can form, every carbon atom can form 4 bonds, maximum of 4 bonds. So after writing whatever the structure formula or the displayed formula, you have to make sure that every carbon atom surrounded by 4 bonds. For example, if we have, for example, methane is CH4. Okay, to write the displayed formula of this, this is not displayed, this is a molecular formula CH4. Okay, so to write the displayed formula of methane, we just write CH H H H. The displayed formula is the formula that show all atoms and bonds. It shows all atoms and bonds. But if we want to write the displayed formula of this compound, which is called ethane, we just write these two carbon atoms connected together, and on the first carbon atom I have 3 hydrogen, 1, 2, 3. On the other carbon atom we have 3 hydrogens, 1, 2, 3. طبعا now if we count how many bonds around carbon, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is right. Around this carbon atom also we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So each carbon atom surrounded by 4 bonds. So this is right. So if you can notice, I need you to notice the difference between the structure formula, the displayed formula, and the molecular formula. So if you have a specific structure contain the whole carbon like this, CO, O, H, C, H, H, H. If the formula show every single bond exists in the compound, so this is a displayed form. Okay. So these are the differences between the different types of formulas in the organic compounds. Type. The second point of the organic compounds, we have to know that the organic compound is different than the inorganic compound, in which the organic compound we classify them into homologous series. يعني I prefer to call them families. يعني the organic compound we classify them into families. But what is the difference between one family and another family? The difference mainly between one family and the other family is that in all the members of the homologous series, they have similar compound with similar chemical properties. Similar. The compounds in the same homologous series, they are similar, not the same, similar compounds with similar chemical properties as, and this is very important because this question comes in the exam in the past paper, as they have same functional group. As they have the same functional group. So if I ask you homologous series, why they have similar chemical properties, هتقولي because they have the same functional group. The same functional group. طيب يعني ايه functional group? What does functional group mean? Functional group means it's a atom or group of atoms that gives the compound a specific property. But what does it mean برضه? يعني for example, we have mainly in the organic chemistry, we will study 5 main families: alkanes, والكينز والكحولز وكربوكسيليك acids and esters.